Hi, it's Martin. Welcome to another video on my Knit 365 YouTube channel. It is vlogtober and this is episode 5 as I blog my way, chart my way, record my way through this year's West Knits Mystery Knit Along. So this is Shawlography. If you've just found this video for the first time and you want to follow along with the progress, head back and watch the Vlogtober series from the beginning and you'll find out all about the project, all about the pattern and my yarn choices and how we've got to where we've got to so far. It's a very quick check-in video. Today is Sunday the 10th of October and confession time, I am marginally hungover. We went out with some friends last night, didn't eat a lot of food. You know the rest. It is 5:45 and I have just done the first pattern repeat on section 3 of this week's clue. I wanted to just do this introduction and then just show my progress and what I've made so far. This will then be edited together and then I'll put a video out midweek. So you're probably watching this Wednesday or Thursday when I hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, all the rest of it, have finished the week 1 clue. So yes, I have kind of laid in bed watching TV for a while. I'm not drinking again. You get the thoughts and the feelings. So yes, it's been a fun Sunday. But I'm feeling a little bit better. And actually the fact that I need to record a little video and start sharing my progress with you has kind of kicked the hangover into touch a little bit. So please send tea and sympathy. But section 3, so you've seen the section 1 and section 2. You saw that in the last video. And then section 3, I've just started. So we've picked back up with colour A, which is obviously the burgundy sort of wine colour. Oh, wine. Moving on. And then we've created these lovely elongated slip stitches, this sort of little V pattern. So you pick up along the cast off edge where we have the I cord. So I had to pick up stitches. I think we picked up like 175, 180 stitches, something like that. Picked up the stitches along the I cord and then knit some colour A rows back and forth, but with a slip stitch after you picked up. So you slipped every few stitches. And then, yeah, lots of this elongated slip stitch. And then what you do is the slip stitch is obviously running straight. What I then did at the end of the red section is you do 2 increases in the slip stitch, which is what opens it up and gives you that V shape. So have finished the first row or the first repeat on section 3. And I have now started the second repeat. So there's going to be 1 repeat in red, 1 repeat in the mid grey, and then 1 repeat in the light grey. So this middle section's not going to have that much contrast because you've got the dark grey slip stitch. You can just about make out. You've got the dark grey slip stitch, but a lighter grey, this sort of medium grey, as the background colour. So that will be very low contrast, I think, with the 2 greys. But when I then do the third repeat with the really light grey, it'll go back to framing it. So that's section 3. I have started. I will probably do a few more rows this evening, but my plan to hopefully get this video up and ready for Wednesday, Thursday was finish section 3 today, tomorrow, and then I've got Tuesday, Wednesday to do section 4, which I think are some I cord loops. More on that coming up at the end of this video, obviously, because the power of the edit, you get to see it and you haven't got to wait a few days. So yes, I'm just checking in on a very hungover Sunday, but I have been knitting. And the fact that you're all here watching is the motivation for me to, as I said, ignore my hangover and plow on. Another quick mention I finished the last video by saying we're nearly at 2,000 subscribers. We have now hit the 2,000 subscribers, which is just bonkers. So thank you very much to everyone who is here for watching and commenting and clicking that subscribe button. It really does mean a huge amount to me. So thank you very much. But I am now going to do some more knitting, and I will check in shortly and show you my progress. Okay, it is Monday evening. I've just finished work. I am no longer hungover. We had to have an emergency McDonald's at 8 o'clock last night. We got in the car and went out for food. We went out for a meal. I took him out on a date. I didn't. We went to McDonald's. But nonetheless, hangover or not, I finished the section 3. So I'll do a switch around once I finished, and I'll lay it out neatly and show you all what it looks like. But you can see the 3 stripes, you can see the gradient on the greys. Not the greatest of lights because it's a bit dusky outside now, but I ploughed on with hangover, finished section 3. Really like the way this V slip stitch has been created. So Mark is cooking tea. I have colour B, and I'm going to start section 4. I should probably finish it. I've just got to make 45 I-cords. But I'm ahead of track because I wanted to finish section 3 yesterday and today to then do section 4 Tuesday, Wednesday. So this video might actually make it up online early. So there we go. Let's crack on. All right, we've had tea. I'm going to call it a night now. I think I'm about halfway round. But it's one of those things. Every time I think I'm nearly there, I look and I'm like, how have I got so many left to do? It's very strange. I will stretch it out and I'll show you better tomorrow in the light. I'm on the fence. In Stephen we trust, it'll all be fine. We'll see what week 2's clue holds. But I've done half-ish. I am above the semicircle. But I'm a bit tired now. What's the time? 9:25. I'm done for tonight. I'll have the finish tomorrow. It's Knit Club tomorrow. So I might take this to Knit Club with me. Tuesday night then, and I'm off to Knit Club. I didn't do any more last night. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not feeling the love for these I-cord loops. Maybe it's just because it's a bit repetitive. But then isn't knitting repetitive and a bit slow? I don't know. Off to Knit Club. My wool has arrived, the blanket. Exciting. So I have my shawl in my Stephen and Penelope bag so that I can finish my loops. And I've got my Bowstron sweater. I think I'll finish the loops. I need to be there about an hour and a half. I'm not going to stay for the full 2 hours. I need to get home, have tea, got home late from work, etc. But I thought if I only take that and I don't take anything else, I'll get that done in 10 minutes. It won't be 10 minutes. And then I'll just sit there. So I have 2 projects, but that might be optimistic. It's like when you pack to go on holiday, you always pack too much. We'll see. Yes, so I need to go now because I'm not going to get to Knit Club if I'm standing there, chatting to you. Traffic. Right, I finished Knit Club. It is 8:15. I need to head home to go and watch Bake Off and have some tea. I finished the clue. So I finished all my loops. I've got my wool for my blanket. So I will show you a bit of the blanket, obviously, tomorrow. The blanket? No, I'll show you a bit of the shawl tomorrow for the finished clue. And I will then show you the wool for the blanket. Right, let's get home. So, good morning. I'm recording this for the second time because I recorded what was probably a 7 or 8 minute ending to this video and forgot to press record. In my defense, it's only 7:30 in the morning. I haven't finished my coffee yet. So yeah, clearly still tired. So as you saw, I was at Knit Club. We're gonna record this again. I was at Knit Club and I finished this week's clue. So that means, I'm on track. Week one clue is done. And I've now got Wednesday and Thursday for some non-West Knits knitting, more on that in a moment, until week 2 arrives. So here's my finished week 1 clue. I'm less on the fence than I was earlier in the video where I said I wasn't sure about these I-cord loops. Now it's finished and it kind of frames the whole thing. I do quite like it. I'm still not 100% convinced. I think whatever goes on top of it on section 2 will make or break it for me. But hey, look, as I said earlier, in Stephen we trust. I do think I'm going to be wearing this as a shawl though, and I'm probably going to end up burrowing through the loops. Anyone do that if you're like wrapped up in a blanket that's like a granny square or that's got holes in it? Do you find you like stick your fingers through and kind of burrow your way? Few of you nodding? No, just me? I can definitely see I'll be wearing this and I'll be sticking my finger through the loops. So have the I-cord loops finished, which is the section 4, and then obviously I showed you section 3, which you can now kind of see much better in the completed shawl. So we have the first couple of rows in this red, then we've got the mid grey, the light grey in the 3rd section, and then the dark grey V's on the slip stitch. I said this middle section was low contrast. I think it is still low contrast. Certainly in the video, for you, I think the mid grey stripe and the dark grey V are blending into one. In real life, you can see that there's a very subtle difference. I'm okay with that. I've seen a few people comment online and on Instagram that they've added a 6th colour in where their wool was going to do something similar. So instead of having that kind of low contrast, they've added in a 6th colour. I didn't have any more wool that I thought would go with this, but also I kind of felt I'm very compliant. So Stephen and Adela, who dyed the yarn from Lola Bean, did the kit in 5 colours. If they'd wanted me to add in a 6th colour, I would have had 6 colours in my kit. So I'm very compliant. So I had 5 colours, so I'm working with what I've got. And I'm really happy. I don't mind that it's a bit low contrast. We were talking about one of my other projects, one of my whips at Knit Club last night, because I've made a bubble cardigan and I've kind of adapted the jumper pattern and it now needs to be steeked to turn the jumper into a cardigan, and that's low contrast, so that is dark grey with light grey bubbles. I filmed some footage. It was actually one of my first vlogs ever, and the footage is rough. So you've all got that to look forward to, hopefully before Christmas. Jenny said to me last night, when are you going to finish that cardigan? I was like, oh, but I've got to steek it. So we did talk. Once I finish the shawl, I'm going to try and go up, I think, before Christmas, and spend a Saturday morning there probably. And then we'll do the steeking. But low contrast works fine for me. It's definitely a colour choice that I really enjoy. So I think this is working really well together now. I'm really happy at the end of week 1. I can't wait to block it out to give these spines a nice little stretch and show off the colours even more. Still loving the way these speckles are kind of popping through my colour B, which is the cream colour, and there's a few of them in the eye cords as well. So I really like how it kind of has the fleckles of the bluey greys and the red. So yeah, a great colour palette. That won't be the thumbnail, obviously, spoilers. But yeah, I'm really enjoying. What will the thumbnail be? Should we do? Is that a spoiler? I don't think that's a spoiler. I don't know, I'll pick one. But there we go, that's the end of week 1. So how are you doing? Let me know in the comments below. Are you on track? Most people that I'm aware of making the blanket that I chat to on Instagram or Twitter are on either nearly finishing section 3 or are just starting section 4. So I think most people are up to date, which is amazing. I did see a comment from Stephen on Instagram yesterday that said next week's clue, or week 2, is more knitting. So maybe he lulled us into a false sense of security with week 1. We're all like, oh, we've smashed it, we're on top of it. I don't know. In Stephen we trust. It'll all be fine. So there we go. So I hope that you've enjoyed following my progress in this episode of my Shawlography. I was just going to finish briefly. I mentioned that I would show you the wool that I bought. I have 28 balls of wool. I'm not going to go into any more details on this. If you want to know more about what I've bought, why I've bought it, hop back on my videos, and there is a podette with a local yarn shop tour to Ammonite Yarns, and I talk more in that video about all of the wool and why I chose the colours that I did. I am making, if you're new here and you haven't seen some of my previous catch-up videos, Mark and I have 2 nieces. One is 7, one is 3.5. And we are having a nephew who is due on Christmas Eve and another niece who is due first week of January. All the babies, all the knitting. So all of that wool will be turned into baby blankets. One for the nephew, one for the niece. I've made blankets for the other 2 nieces. So it's kind of like a bit of a family heirloom thing now that they all get it. I woke up a bit earlier this morning and did a bit of knitting. So my plan now, I finished my West Knit shawl. What I said I was going to do throughout October is I'll spend the week working on the shawl, and when I finish the shawl, I will then start squares for the blanket. So this is a very simple lacy pattern. It's by Martin Story for Rowan, and it was a free pattern that he did as part of a blanket Afghan knit along. So it's the same pattern that I've used for both the other nieces. Obviously, this is for nephew 1 in a lovely little blue colour. And it's just a very simple lace design. So this is 1 repeat, and then the pattern repeats 3 times, and then that's a square done. So my plan is to work on squares for the rest of the week now. So tonight, tomorrow morning and night, I'm going to try and get up a little bit earlier and knit a few squares, or start some squares before work. So yeah, so there'll be more about these in my regular Roundup vlogs. I might do a specific project vlog about these ones because I think it might be quite interesting for people to see from the start all the way to the finish. How do I block them, get them to size? There will be a letter. So within the blankets, I knit a square that's got the baby's initial in it. So I've done an A and I've done an O. And I'll show how I do that because I don't find a pattern for that. I just kind of make my own on an Excel spreadsheet. So I might show a bit more about how I do that if that is of interest. But there we go. That is me done for episode 5. I'm going to get this up so it's Wednesday when it's being loaded, and we'll follow the same format now for the rest of the make along and the rest of Vlogtober. So I'll film a little bit of footage over the next few days, and then I will try and upload a video Saturday or Sunday, and then again another video Tuesday, Wednesday, depending on how much progress I've made. And if there are problems, or I've got stuck, or I thought there's something that you should see, because heaven forbid I've had to unravel something, there might be an extra bonus video. I do need to do my September roundup. So we've got a quiet weekend, which I think after last weekend is needed. So I might try and do my September roundup. So there'll be an extra non-Vlogtober style video, which will be me sitting and babbling about what I did or didn't do in September. And it's the 13th of October, so kind of what I've started in October. I'll just do a general non-shawl along update. I think that's how we'll do it. So I hope that you're well. I hope that you're enjoying this little series. Thank you so much again for all of the time that you give me, for new subscribers, new followers, for people finding me, of course, to returning viewers. Lovely to have you all here. Again, thank you so much for all the comments. I've really enjoyed reading them, and I've got a few to catch up on, but I'm really hoping to keep up to date with all of your comments. So let me know how you're doing in the comments below. But until we speak again, which will be next weekend with Clue 2, I hope that you're keeping well. Have a good rest of your week, and happy crafting.